92.1 WROI, WROIFM.com. And on this Wednesday morning, pleased to be joined by way of telephone, United States Senator Joe Donnelly from the great state of Indiana. Senator, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thanks so much, and I'm sorry I missed you the other week, Tom, when I stopped by. I apologize for that.
Oh, that's all right. I didn't know you were in town that day, but it's always nice to see you. I had a lot of friends that said, hey, Senator Donnelly was in town today.
Darren looked much younger than usual that day.
Well, he has that tendency. And, of course, I would say it depends on the day of the week.
Amen. Monday's better than Friday.
My wife wants me to do. I look much older when I have chores.
Senator, I just want to touch on this, and not necessarily a lot of detail or answering or whatever, but a lot of news came out of Washington, D.C. yesterday, and I'm curious what you think about all that.
Well, when you see it all, obviously for Paul Manafort, was found guilty on 8 charges: tax fraud, bank fraud, failing to file a foreign bank account. Michael Cohen in New York pleaded as well. And so, we're going to just see where this investigation continues to go. I'm not going to speculate on any part of it or try to be like a prognosticator. The special prosecutor will follow this wherever it goes.
National Suicide Hotline Improvement. You've been working on that for a while, right?
I have, and we were able to get it done. Orrin Hatch, my friend, the Republican senator from Utah, and I teamed up on this, and what it includes is allowing the FCC to take a look at installing a 3-digit number, much like a 911 system. If you are struggling with mental health issues or suicidal issues, that you can call and someone's on the other side of the line ready to talk you through it, try to find you help. And so the largest groups that you find demographically where this is a challenge is for teenagers, young people, and for veterans and service members. And so the whole idea is to provide another layer of backstop to try to help our citizens.
So is that a done deal now?
It's a done deal. The president signed it.
Okay. So
yeah.
Okay, excellent.
So
excellent.
The FCC just has to take a look at this and figure out what we hope they figure out is the best way to implement this.
Senator, I've worked with the FCC for years, so I'm not going to go there with you, but I understand.
Okay. Yeah, you have better. I'll take your advice. You can be my counselor on this one.
We want to talk to Senator about the Military Lending Act. I'm not even sure what that is, so can you define that for us a little bit, please?
Well, if you have been around some of our bases over the years, a lot of times you head right outside the gates and there's payday lenders and similar type organizations that are out there. And what we've tried to do through the CFPB is make it so that there's limits on interest rates, that there's certain information that has to be provided. In other words, to try to help our service members at least be treated fairly, that nobody takes advantage of them financially. And I was able to get that included along with other members as part of the CFPB program. The administration is now talking about ending the protection for military service members, which makes no sense at all. And so I'm fighting back with everything I have to try to make sure that that we keep these protections in place, that we stand up for our men and women who are serving so that they're not taken advantage of financially.
Yeah, I apologize for the laugh, Senator. But
no, I understand.
From my days on military bases, I understand that there's 2 different kinds of establishments just on the outside of a military base. Both involve transfer of money. I will ask you, and I told your people I was going to ask you about this. This kind of shocked me. Find out last week the VA is no longer giving out orthopedic shoes to service-connected disabilities with veterans' foot issues. And I was wondering how that happened and if you're aware of it and if they have all their facts straight, because sometimes they'll say this and they might have misread something.
I'm aware of this from you letting us know, and we're looking into it right now. We're trying to find out the answer because, just those health challenges don't go away. They need to be taken care of. Just saying, hey, we're not going to do this anymore doesn't solve the health issue that's out there. And so what we promise our veterans is that the VA will provide the health care that they earn through their service to our country, and that's what we're going to make sure happens here.
Senator, yesterday it was a big news day. The sad story out of Iowa with the Molly Tibbetts situation. Undocumented person supposedly committed that crime. I guess all of the thinking through that brings me back to where are we with the wall now and what's happening with that? Is Congress doing anything? Is it just the president's rhetoric? What's happening?
Well, I voted for funding for the wall 3 different times to provide the funding. Was actually part of a group that the president asked us to come up with some legislation and said, hey, I'll sign it if you guys do this. So it was 10 Democrats, 10 Republicans, complete bipartisan effort. We worked, Tom, for a month and a half, and we came up with a deal that would have provided all the funding for the border wall, $25 billion, $2.5 billion a year for the next 10 years as they build it. And on the other side, it would have made it so that the DACA children, who are the children who came here, who are in our schools, who are here, everybody knows who they are, that over a 12-year period, they could have a pathway to citizenship. So those would be the kids in Rochester High School, for instance, who came to Rochester when they were 2 years old. It was their parents' illegal action, but those children have been in Rochester their entire lives. And so we have been able to put forward the funds. The president seemed very excited about it at first, changed his mind later that night. And so I have voted for wall funding 3 different times. This is a case where I am hopeful, and I'm not trying to say this in a funny way, but really all the president has to do is say yes, take yes for an answer, and we can get this done.
Senator, I know you've got a busy day today. We've got a limited amount of time here, but you've got a lot of things going on right now in Washington, D.C.
We are working nonstop on a number of these issues, and what we're trying to do and make sure is that we're fighting back against this opioid scourge, that we're taking care of our veterans. I'm really glad Barron let me know about this problem. We'll jump on it right away, and just trying to make it so that life is better each and every day for the people of our communities, and to let our farmers know I'm fighting on this tariff issue to try to get this straightened out.
Excellent. Last question: how are the Fighting Irish going to do this year? Your alma mater.
I will tell you this, we have an incredible amount of talent. That does not always translate to wins. But
well, I heard the machine that is Ball State Cardinals football is going to be invading Notre Dame this year, so that ought to be interesting.
They will be coming through Rochester heading north is what they will be doing. That's right.
We'll put out the welcome mat for them. Senator, as
Please
always,
do.
We appreciate your time so much this morning. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Again, United States Senator Joe Donnelly, and we don't intentionally, and I think we can say this, we don't intentionally cut him off, but his people who set up this particular interview said you have a hard stop, which is a new term for me, but we had a hard stop at 8:09, so I'm watching the clock up here.
Yeah, we
and
came
we're
in with
8:08. We're 8:08:55.
Yes. I mean, we were good. We were good.
We better wrap this in the last 5 seconds or so. So anyway.